Welcome to Connecting to Spirit with Stacey, a weekly journey into the spiritual world with Evidential Medium Stacey Niedentohl. With nearly 10 years of experience offering transformative private, group, and platform readings, Stacey is also a passionate mentor, guiding students for over 5 years to unlock their intuitive gifts. She is the author of 2 impactful books, My Head Knows, But My Heart Still Hurts, a 30-day grief recovery journal, and My Crystal Addiction Diary, an exploration of crystal and stone energy for healing. So please welcome the host of Connecting to Spirit, Stacey Niedentohl.
Hello, and welcome to Connecting to Spirit. I'm Evidential Medium and author of 2 books, Stacey Niedentohl, and I'm so glad that you're listening tonight. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. Welcome to the Connecting family. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'm so excited about this episode. But like every episode, I'm always excited to bring them on. I love the thought of being able to talk to you about some of the experiences that I've had to share so that you know that you're not the only one out there that has similar situations. So this week, we're going to get real about talking about spirituality. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Do you feel like you need help navigating the heart center to allow yourself to open up the door to the messy stuff in your life that was handed you without you even knowing that it was going to be handed to you, that you were unprepared for? Do you visualize and create new experiences to get past the messy stuff? Do you want to reinvent yourself at any moment and get unstuck in a new mindset that brings in gratefulness and mindfulness and greatness for you? If you're that person who is wondering if you're on a spiritual path of new beginnings, even if there is the messy stuff that's there, and how do you do that? This is the episode that you really want to listen to. And if you have a friend or a family member who's struggling with some of these things, be sure to like and share this episode with them. It's one of those things where we try and find our place in the world, as well as in the spiritual realm, but more importantly within ourselves. As an evidential medium, clients come to me to connect to their loved ones who have passed. They feel stuck, almost like they're suffocating in grief. So they come looking for breathing room instead of drowning in the grief. They want to be able to have reminders to celebrate life, not just grieve death, but to live in the here and the now, one moment at a time, 1 second at a time, with the changes, and try and navigate through these. So I was thinking the other day how different things that happen in our lives point us in different directions and different thoughts. Well, the same is true for grief. Grief points us to our own mortality. We ponder the importance that we've had on this earth and the goals and the dreams that we wanted to create. And we hope that at the end of our life, these weren't missed opportunities. Our life here on earth is so short that we want to be filled with all this joy and all this peace within us. But because of some of the things that are navigated our way, we get stuck. There are so many things to do and people to see and places to go. But if you're stuck in this never-ending cycle of, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not young enough, I'm not old enough, and the big one is, I'm not spiritual enough. In the past few years, I'm sure that you've found yourself hearing everyone talk about awakening and spirituality and alignment. Maybe you don't completely understand what that is or how to go about it or if it's even for you. Things drastically changed, in my opinion, during COVID. We got scared to live our lives outside of our homes because of all the scenarios that we were told about if we congregated with other people or if we went outside and gathered in groups. It made us question our own mortality, our own spiritual being, our own energetic thought of happiness and how to be grateful for the things that we have. Maybe you question what you've accomplished in your life thus far. How would we come out of this situation? We grew distance from family and friends and our working environments as well. For some of us, the time secluded was good. They slowed down, reconnected with themselves. But for others, it was a difficult time. Being alone with your thoughts and yourself, the thoughts that were now given the perfect breeding ground for the perfect storm in your mind. So, where am I going with all this? So, I've been reading this book by, Dr. Lisa Miller, and she's a PhD, and it's called The Awakened Brain. And she researched the possibility that spirituality can play a big part in fighting depression. Now, this was a research project that she started in the late 80s into the 90s. It's still going on now. And I thought to myself while I'm reading this book could have been such a great help for so many people struggling through being secluded, being cut off from everyone. And I thought, we all struggle with different things. Depression, good grief, it's like this epidemic of things. So when I think about spirituality and I think about depression, it's mindset. And I'm not putting a just depression. I'm not making it sound that way. I dealt with depression and anxiety myself. But when I speak about spirituality, I'm not speaking about religion or doctrine or dogma. I'm speaking about the connection that you have with yourself and the world that's around you. Spirituality is defined as involving a recognition of a feeling or a sense and a belief that there is something greater than myself. There is a higher power, something more than just being human, but connects us to the cosmic and the divine nature of things. And if you want to get really deep in it, spirituality is commonly categorized in 3 categories. Individualistic focuses on personal connection with your higher power. Collective, that's churches, religious institutions, communities, traditions. And then spiritual dialogue, engaging in conversation with others to explore your spiritual beliefs. And now there are steps that you can take to all of this, and there's processes and blah, 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 blah. Again, I'm not doubting those. I'm not saying those won't work for everybody, but we all have our own different experiences. And to me, the true spiritual experience starts deep within yourself. It's you and the divine. It's your connection that you have to you and the world around you and the spiritual realm of how you feel and see and intuitively recognize things. Our own interpretations of the events and the opportunities that brought us to this exact point right here. It is all within us to have spiritual experiences and expressions. There's no special trait or special gene that you've been given. There's no special gift that the divine cast into your energy to make you this big woo-woo person. Spirituality is for everyone and anyone to have the ability to connect to a deeper meaning, give yourself permission. That's the big thing, giving yourself permission to navigate the ins and the outs of the life that you inhabit. So I just gave you a big mouthful of a lot of things. But the main point that I want to make here is spirituality. It starts with you and allowing yourself to connect to the divine and to trust, to do that inward walk, to face the things that the world has given to you, and to allow yourself to walk through them. When I first started on my spiritual path, I read every book I could get my hands on every subject that interested me. And I still do that. I wanted to digest every single word and see how it lined up with what I was feeling or what I was seeing or what was coming to me. I was reading the experiences of the authors and looking for a glimmer of light that made me know that I was not losing my mind, that I wasn't crazy. So many mediums that I've talked to thought that they were like schizophrenic because they were seeing, feeling, and hearing things. Everyone's experience is different. So I wanted to research, I wanted to read, I wanted to meditate and question and listen and journal and repeat. And I started to trust the things that were coming to me because I started seeing patterns. I wanted to know that I was not being tricked because that's what I was taught. The enemy will trick you. So I sought after mentors and teachers. I listened to podcasts. I joined groups whose mottos basically were like-minded people. And although I wanted to connect with like-minded people, I also wanted to connect with people who weren't like-minded because I wanted to compare experiences. I wanted to hear what everybody's experience was. There were different views of different subjects and how people felt about certain things. I could not be the only one that this was happening to. It could not be the same for everyone. And every single book that I read was not the same. It was different experiences of how spirituality, how the path opened up to them, and how they awakened to this. I guess you could say I had some spiritual nosiness in me. I realized that I needed to confront my own human self, the mess that I had been through. No one is mess free. We all have a mess. There's no anti-mess. We all have something. But you know what? I realized until I confronted my own messes, spoke about my screw-ups, and put the effort into healing in these wounds, did I realize that this was part of my journey that brought me where I am right now. And that was the sucky part of the journey. I needed to experience those things in order to, I don't know, turn over my control of what was happening so that organically I could start to understand the path that I was on. There's no real spiritual experience that I believed I was worthy of. I honestly thought I was crazy. Because of some of the traumatic experiences, I felt as if I deserved what I was handed. I didn't feel as if I deserved any good things. Now, when I said that to you, was there a memory that just flashed in your mind? What traumatic event, what event, what came to your mind that you feel is stopping you? The one that you remember, where you were, what you were wearing, how your heart broke, how it took the wind out of your sails. That's the first place you want to start the healing journey. Going back to that particular moment in time, seeing that person, whether you were a small child, but talking to that version of you in the most loving way and saying, you made it through it. You survived. And as I was on this beginning of my spiritual journey, when I would hear about karma, I would always think, ooh, I'm a little worried about that because I've always looked at the negative aspects of things instead of looking at the law of attraction. What I give out, I will receive. I was looking at it, well, this is what I gave out, so ooh, what am I going to receive? I had to start looking at the positive things that I gave out and what was going to be coming towards me as long as I allowed it and felt as if I deserved it. And it's pushing ego out of the way. There's no ego involved in this. Believe me when I tell you, I did not wake up one morning and say, I'm healed, I'm spiritual. I did not meditate myself to levitate into great spiritual alignment. I'm still a work in progress. And so are you. That's all part of this spiritual path, the spiritual walk. It's the connection to who you are and who you are born to be, and how the divine, the universe, the God force brings things to you so that you recognize it as this is especially for me. I would think, and I still often think to myself, who would want to listen to me? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I was a rebellious teenager. I had toxic relationships. I had been told many, many, many hurtful things that I believed. One of the things that I was told was that, nobody's ever going to love you because I was so unbelievably disgusting. And the person who told me that was responsible for how I viewed the world and how I believed it. But you know what? I'm the person that's responsible for believing it. I needed to unlearn this feeling in order to heal. This is a spiritual awakening. This is that relearning period. Not being what someone else told you that you were. Allowing yourself to say, I'm worthy. I was created for a reason. God has a special purpose for me. I suffered with depression and anxiety of not being good enough. I was incapable of giving and receiving the wonderful things that Creator was going to give to me because I didn't feel like I deserved it. I didn't know how to be on this healing journey because if I was vulnerable, then I was no longer in control. Well, part of that healing journey is giving up the control. I had learned that once I started walking through my healing, once I started allowing myself to release those things that stopped me, once I looked at where I was and where I am now, all of a sudden I thought, oh my gosh, I can share this with other people because it no longer has power over me. That's when the light went off. I realized others could relate to my experience. Sorry, I had to see something over there. But I realized that others could benefit from my experiences. I was not the only one. There was no shame to hide anymore. But first, I needed to let those things go that affected me in my life. They needed to be acknowledged, to be felt, to be expressed. I needed to grow through them, not around them, not over them, not burying them deep within me. But this is what I had to unlearn. I had to unlearn that it was okay to be vulnerable. I had to unlearn that it was okay to trust my inner knowing. I had to put one foot in front of the other and trust the Creator had something great for me. So when I'm thinking about this, and when I was meditating on this or ruminating it, however you want to say, a song came to my head. And it's a song that is by Nirvana. And it says, I'm just going to read this to you. Come as you are, as you were. And I look at that, as I am and as I was, that's still me, as I want you to be. So I have to decide, is it as the world wants me to be, or as I know I can be, what Creator has for me? As a friend, I have to be a friend to myself. I have to have this connection with the divine. There has to be a relationship there. As an enemy. Sometimes the world's your enemy. Sometimes we're an enemy to ourselves. We self-sabotage so easily. Take your time. Hurry up. Whew, that's the world. It's a learned trait. The choice is yours. Don't be late. That can be me. It's never, ever, ever too late to heal through things. It's never too late to start over. It's never too late to do shadow work and look deep within. It's never too late to form a relationship with the divine. Take a rest, my friend. I mean, that would be so for me and for you as an old memory. So I have to look at the old memories as stepping stones. Some of them were steep, but I'm getting to the top. So this song talked to me, and I want to talk to you more about it when we get back from this break. But be sure that you like and you share this episode with anyone that you feel could benefit from talking about a spiritual walk. We'll be right back.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Dr. RC will share extraordinary resources and services that promote educational success, as well as making a difference in the lives of all social workers, as well as the lives of children, adolescents, and teens of today. She will have open discussions addressing many of the issues that we face about our youth and how being employed in the uniquely skilled profession of social work for over 18 years has taught invaluable lessons through her personal experiences. She will also provide real-life facts, examples, and personal stories that will confirm that why serving as a child advocate is extremely beneficial when addressing the needs of the whole child. Listen live to Dare to Soar, Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network, and tune in radio as Dr. RC will provide thought-provoking information that will empower, encourage, and strengthen students, families, and communities across our nation. You can also visit her at soarwithkatie.com.
Hi, welcome back to Connecting to Spirit. Evidential Medium, Stacey Niedentohl here. And we're talking about spirituality. We're getting real about spirituality. So if you feel like because you've got all this gunk, all this stuff in your past, that you can't be on a spiritual walk, you can. And I was just talking about this song by Nirvana. Watch the replay if you missed part of that. But the song really talked to me because I was trying to be what everyone thought that I should be. And then the rebellious part of me was trying to be everything that nobody wanted me to be. I was being told, hurry up, slow down. Well, how do you do that? I was getting conflicting things in my childhood or in my school age years. Relationships that I thought was this relationship bond forever, all of a sudden went away. Of course, I'm always ruminating. I'm always, thinking about maybe I wasn't worthy of their friendship. What did I do wrong? I needed to take a rest, my friend, to myself and give myself permission to not allow those bad memories to ride on within me. I didn't want them to override the good memories. So there's a quote that talks about nobody remembers the good things that you do, but everybody remembers the bad things you do, the mistakes that you made. That's what we do to ourselves. We tend to pull apart all the things that we've done wrong instead of looking at the things that we've done right. And I understand that remembering mistakes helps us to learn how not to do them again, but we don't want to get stuck in those. The possibilities of the things that were coming for me, to me, through me, and to you and for you. This is that spiritual awakening. All of a sudden, you put your glasses on and you can see clearer. All of a sudden, you allow yourself to see things that you've never seen before. So all this sounds great, right? Where do I start? You got all this stuff. Sounds really great. First, I need to find the love within myself, for myself, no matter what other people may be saying. Practicing changing my mindset, mindfulness, the things that roll around in my head, all those dirty little secrets, to give myself permission to speak about them, not as a victim, but as a survivor, a warrior, a goddess. I walked through that and I came to the other side. To hear them out loud and to say them without trembling in my voice. That enabled me to take the power away from the depression, the shame, the anxiety, and the sadness. Spiritual release and healing. Is that not amazing? I met myself exactly where I was supposed to meet myself. When you realize it doesn't matter who told you what you were supposed to be, if it doesn't feel right in your energy, in your body, and in your spirit, it's not for you. It wasn't me. That in and of itself is a spiritual awakening. When you voice your opinion and you stand up for yourself and say, that's not who I am, that's not my passion. Finding power and grace in boundaries. A way to take a deeper breath in. You know, people always say, oh, just breathe, just breathe. But if you're breathing shallow, it's anxiety. So it's taking that slow breath in. The world is not finished with us. The universe, creator, is not finished with us. I am not finished learning and doing and seeing and teaching and being the best version of myself that I can be. And I bet you're not either. This is all part of a spiritual experience. You are worthy of good things. Your thoughts, your actions, your beliefs, they matter. You make a difference to everyone that crosses your path, even if you don't realize it. That's all part of your spiritual journey. But you know what? It's not just your spiritual journey, it's their journey as well. I don't have all the answers. As I mentioned before, I'm not always sure why people come to me and ask me for advice and want to know what my thoughts are. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a therapist. All I have are my experiences that I will gladly share with you. All I have is my heart center that I will open up and share with you. Maybe as I peel back some of the layers that I share, you'll begin to hear your story. Our lives cannot be placed in a box or checked off. In order to find happiness, do this, 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 and this. In order to have a spiritual awakening, do this, 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 and this. It doesn't work that way. If you are living that way, it's self-sabotaging and it is emotionally exhausting. Instead, my suggestion, take it or leave it. It's entirely up to you. Why not think about all of the things that led you to this point in time right now? Spiritual revelations will start to bubble up. We'd be like, oh my gosh, I was doing this, and all of a sudden I heard from this person, and they put me in direction with, and you'll start to see how those moving parts changed your life. Look at how things played out for you to where you are right now. Work on this belief and know that this moment in time that you're at right now is not where you're going to continue to be. Recognizing spiritual experiences, those aha moments, things that make you smile, things that make you realize, oh my gosh, I have overcome a lot. That's part of your spiritual journey. That's part of being spiritual, because all of a sudden you're comfortable with yourself. You feel lighter. You are a spiritual, energetic expression of the human that you are right now at this very moment in time. You can navigate the hard stuff. And you know why I say that? Because you've done it before. You've figured it out. Being spiritual in no way means that you are peace be with you, my friend, Zen all the time. You don't kumbaya for 3 hours a day. Butterflies don't land on you. Stardust doesn't fall from your hair when you walk. It takes a willingness to look inward, to do the work, to heal, to love. You are the most authentic part of you that you can be. No one else can be you. Intuition starts to wake up. You start to trust your gut more. You attract more energy. The things that you require, all of a sudden, they fit into place around you. Maybe you're sleeping better. Maybe you feel lighter. Maybe friends start to say, "What's changed about you? There's a twinkle in your eye now. What's different?" It simply means that you are connected to your inner self so that your outer self recognizes you. Says, "Hey, how you doing? I've been waiting for you. The divine has had me waiting deep here within you for you to recognize that I'm here. I know you can make a difference in the world that's around you. I really do. Feel the love in your heart center for yourself. Even if this is the very first time that you've ever done that, quiet the negative talk that's in your head, the self-reflection that isn't really self-reflection, it's critiquing yourself, where it's a no-win situation. Don't sabotage the world that's around you because of the thought process in your head where you think, I don't deserve. It all starts with a willing heart and that look inwards, offering yourself grace and love to be yourself, to the world, the people around you, and understanding and knowing and believing that you are not alone. None of us are alone here on this world. We've talked about angels and archangels, spirit guides. We've talked about the universe and the divine. And, and it's just, there's other things, there's other realms. It's inviting it in and believing it. Seek to live a spiritual life in your human existence. So instead of reacting to something, take a second so that you can respond. When you go to the doctors and they give you medicine, they don't want you to say, well, they may say to you, if you have a reaction, call us. Let me know how you're responding to the medication. How are you responding to the call of God, to Creator, to the universe, to yourself? Ask yourself, what can I do to change, become, what can I do in order to live a life that I love and love the life that I live? What can I do? Then do that. If it gets messy, take a step back, do an inner journey, meditate, pray about it, ask, listen, and then say, what can I do about it? What can I do differently? And then do that and become. And you will start to change in so many different ways that you have no idea what the world can offer to you. Spirituality is not just for special people. It's for everyone. It's for you. It's for me. It's for your neighbors. It's for your friends. But it's that belief, that recognition of a feeling or a sense that there is something greater than myself. It's a connection to the cosmic universe, to the divine nature of all things. It's a belief that you are special because you're here. You're spiritual. Don't question it. Allow yourself to just feel it and be it and do it. And when you think about meditating, I have so many people that will say to me, I can't meditate. I don't know how to meditate. Yes, you do. When you get in the shower, just stop for a minute, take 3 deep breaths, slow your breathing down. Visualize the water that's coming down over you as washing away the past, washing away what happened yesterday, and bringing in refreshment and water for yourself so that you can be a new you today, a new spiritual being. So if I ask you, are you on a spiritual path? Are you on a spiritual journey? Now you kind of know how you can do that. So a spiritual journey is just actually me connecting to myself. walking through the wounds, healing from the wounds, asking for help and guidance, loving myself, trusting the things that come to me, and helping others. Absolutely. That's exactly what a spiritual path is. You can read hundreds of books that'll say, oh, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. But if and those are a good guideline. But if it doesn't feel like it fits into your energy, then that's not the thing for you to do. It just isn't. I love sitting in a drum circle. I love sitting in meditation. I love, of course, doing readings for others, and whether it's a mediumship reading or if it is a energy reading. What I don't like are doing readings that are health related or relationship related unless spirit brings it through. Make sense? So we're all on a spiritual journey, like it or not. It is just what you do with it and how you grow with it. And I talked about this, I don't know, probably one of the first episodes. We all have some form of passion that's within us that's growing stronger and stronger and stronger. We feel pulled towards something. Take that pull and move forward with it. Read about it, talk about it, ask about it. Find others who are doing what you've grown to do and just get into a conversation with them about it. Seek out a mentor or a teacher. And if it doesn't feel right, they're not the ones for you. But relying on yourself, that self-talk to you, for you, about you. And then when you heal, it's sharing it with others. Isn't that interesting? I think it is. I think it's very interesting. And when I read that book about the awakened brain, I did want to share this, and I didn't share it when I was talking about it. So I kind of nerded out a little bit when I was reading the book. Because when you talk about spirituality, people won't believe it unless they see it. Well, you're not going to see it unless you believe it. But this psychologist did this study, and they tested the brain, and there's receptors in the brain, and different parts of the brain do different things. And apparently, the top of the brain is where the receptors are for fight or flight. So if something happens, you either fight. I always say fight, fight, or flee. I'm out of here, right? So with someone who was very spiritual, whose spirituality was important to them, whether it was, a religious sect, whether it was, an act that they did as far as meditation, but it was a faith in something greater than them. When they did a scan on their brain and they would be talking to this person, they would watch which receptors would light up. And they noticed, which I think is cool, they noticed with someone who was walking through depression who did not have a connection to spirituality, the flight receptors lit up. And there's actually lights around those as well, almost as like a wall. Those got dim. But someone who had a connection to spirituality, to a faith, to a belief, the fight receptors turned on. And this wall around that also turned on. And then they noticed that in the back of the neck, well, the base of the spine, the brain, that there were also receptors there that also lit up. And those are creativity and imagination and faith and belief. So you're having the same conversation with two different people. The main difference was one was connected to spirituality and one was not. So now all of a sudden you can see that there is proof that the brain responds to different things because of the mindset that we have. Has your brain ever just spiraled out of control to the point where you're like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing, and it gets worse as the day goes? When your brain starts to spiral out of control, if you would just take a moment and say, okay, hold on, I'm going to breathe, I'm going to meditate, I know that I will get through this. It changed my thought process, the way I think about things. I stop and I pray about it or I meditate about it. But if I take that deep breath, all of a sudden everything within me slows down. And I may stop and just say, what am I supposed to learn from this? Where am I supposed to go from here? And a thought or a feeling will show up. It's like synchronicities. You ask to see synchronicities of 11:11, and they'll show up. It's the belief in what you have seen and putting that experience to the test. But then you don't just keep it within you, you share it with others. I've had this passion for a long time and it has changed a little bit, but when I look back at the main thing, I feel like healing the world one person at a time is the most important part of who I am and what I need to do. If I can help you heal through something, then you will help someone else heal through something, and they will help someone else heal. And it just continues to grow because we are all in recovery from something. And if we allow ourselves these spiritual revelations and these moments of aha moments and clarity, and we get unstuck, how many people can we help heal? That's a spiritual path. That's when all of a sudden the universe lines up for you. When I first opened up to where I am and who I am now, all of a sudden I felt comfortable in my own skin. I just always thought I was this weird chick that just didn't really know what the hell she was doing. But the anxiety and the depression, things that I was holding on to, it wasn't me. I was through it. I had survived. I had overcome. Why was it still stuck there? Healing through it, pushing it up, talking about it, takes the control away from that thing. So now, spiritually, it's gone. Magically, it's gone. It's still in the back of my head. It's still there. But now I can talk about it without my voice trembling. So if you are on a spiritual path or on a spiritual journey, however you want to look at it, don't get all caught up in all the woo-woo words. Call it for what it feels like for you. It's you connecting to your own spiritual energy that has always been locked deep within you. But because of what the world has put in front of you, the door's shut. Well, let's open that door back up. Let's connect with the divine. Let's realize and ask that we are not alone, and ask for guidance and support. And you know what? The divine will show up every single time. You just have to notice it. And I always put you know how there's always the fine line on the contract? When I'm setting my intention, bring people to me that I can help or that can help me. Allow me to see the sign so I know the direction that I need to go in. And if I miss it, show it to me again in a bigger way. And you know what? Never let down. I miss some things where I get later, I'm like, oh shoot, I missed that. Show it to me again. I need to see it again. Because we're human. We get busy. Well, you can get busy being busy, or you can get busy healing. And then help heal the world with me on this spiritual path, on this spiritual journey. Because you're special. You got it. It's for all of us. I hope this helped you to understand a little bit more about what a spiritual walk is, or what the enlightened state is, or having this awakening. Because like I said, sometimes there are so many woo-woo words that we get confused. You know, if you're in a spiritual community and somebody talks about Kundali, you know what it is. And if you don't, you go home later and you look it up. But if I'm going to talk to someone about Kundali, all of a sudden then I'm going to explain what that is. Because I want you to learn what I didn't know and what I'm learning leaning towards, where I'm going. Anyway, this is live, folks. So I hope this helped you to see things in a different way. to know that you, my friend, are worthy of living the life you love and loving the life you live. If you're not, change it. Ask yourself, what can I do? How can I be? How do I navigate? And try it. If it doesn't work, try something else. Journal it. You know what, guys? I am so glad you were here tonight. This message was just so important for me to share with you. And next week, we'll be doing call-ins again. I had a couple people saying, oh, can we call in and ask a question? I was looking at my social media. So we'll do that again next week. We'll do a call-in show. But I really would love to hear what your thoughts are on this. Email me, ConnectingtoSpiritwithStacey@gmail. My friends, my connectors, my family, I love you. And you need to love yourself. You are this energetic, beautiful being. I see it. I want you to see it too. So until next week, may peaceful blessings fall in your hearts and in your hands, and may you either begin or continue your spiritual walk so that you know you are worthy of all the blessings the Creator has for you. I will see you next week. I love you, and good night.
This has been Connecting to Spirit with Stacey. Tune in each week as Stacey delves into the journey of life, healing, and spiritual connection, inviting listeners to open their hearts, clear their minds, and create the life they love. Right here, Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave TV network, powered by B2 Studios.